Guys, how are you? Jim Prusek here at the Pain PT, and today we're going to talk about how your emotions affect your behaviors and how we want to sever this link between emotions and maladaptive behaviors. Okay, so we're going to talk about this today because your emotions are driving your behaviors, and a lot of times they're not driving them in a good direction. Okay, so we're trying to basically change these things because we do so many things in our lives because of our emotions, either because we don't want to feel certain emotions or we're afraid of certain emotions. So let me give you a couple examples here right off the bat. If you are a people pleaser or a perfectionist or a do-gooder, or you're self-critical, hard on yourself, these personality characteristics that Dr. Sarno talks about. Now, the reasons we do these things are because we are trying to avoid certain feelings in ourselves, and we're trying to get certain feelings. So we do these things to have a sense of control, to feel some reward or happiness. Now, all these things are sort of maladaptive behaviors, though. Okay, what we're trying to do is avoid feeling these deeper feelings of maybe inadequacy, abandonment, shame, feeling less than, not good enough. Okay, we do these behaviors when we people please or we're trying to be perfect because we are trying to always feel a certain way, which is impossible. Okay, and I want you guys to know that all emotions are on the same shelf. I don't want you to think that you should only be feeling one emotion. And our job is to get better and better at feeling all our emotions. I call these flavors of ice cream that you can eat vanilla ice cream, strawberry, chocolate ice cream. You can handle every flavor because when you do that and you can sit with your emotions and acknowledge them by labeling them and feeling them in your body and not react to the emotion, you are severing the link between the emotion and the behavior. Okay, so for example, if you stop people pleasing or you stop being hard on yourself or trying to be perfect, I want you to sit with what that feels like. If that impulse, I gotta do this, okay, a feeling is going to come up in yourself, an emotion is going to come up that's going to feel uncomfortable in you, and that is the emotion that drives your behavior. So for example, if you're not people pleasing to somebody, you're going to start to feel bad. You're going to start to feel guilty, maybe, that you're not doing enough. Okay? You're going to feel like you're being judged or you're a bad person or somebody thinks bad of you. Now, I want you to sit with that feeling in you. Acknowledge what that feeling is, label it, and sit with it and be okay with the feeling and do nothing about it. Don't people please. Or stop if you're not trying to be perfect anymore. Or try to go the extra mile for everything to make it just the way you want it. Sit with how that feels if you don't do that and see if you can label it and be okay with it. Again, you're breaking the attachment or the link between the feeling and the behavior so that you can move forward in a different way. So it's our emotions that drive our behaviors. So that's why we want to get to the emotion to work with this. Now, in other ways this works is that when people are catastrophizing, meaning they're worrying and negative thinking, that's coming from the emotion of fear. So again, you want to get in touch with the deeper emotion behind the thoughts. Okay, so if you're afraid, sit with the fear, sit with the anxiety, label it, feel it, be okay with it. Okay, you don't have to be going on and on in your mind. You want to drop to the feeling. Okay, same thing with people are ruminating thoughts round and round and round. That's because there's anger there that hasn't been expressed or acknowledged or felt. So again, go to the anger, acknowledge it, feel it in your body. Go to the heart of the matter, as we would say with these emotions. Okay, so your emotions are driving your behaviors. If you're fearful and you can't handle the fear, you're going to avoid things. That's called fear avoidance, right? It's one of the most common things we see with chronic pain. And the fear itself drives the pain. So it's one of the emotions that can actually create and cause and sustain your pain by itself. No injury, just the fear. Okay, same things with anger. If we're not expressing our anger when it's appropriate or feeling our anger, acknowledging it, what happens is it also can create symptoms when we suppress or repress anger. Now, anger can be sandwiched between anxiety and guilt. So if you feel bad about being angry about something because of the situation or the person, then you're going to block your natural anger expression. Okay, so you have to sit with the guilt maybe and the feeling bad first and let that go through you. And don't let the guilt, again, stop you from having an expression of natural and possibly appropriate anger. Okay, so again, there you can see how an emotion blocks your behavior. Guilt can block you from getting angry when it's appropriate. Also, anxiety will block you from getting angry. If you're feeling anxious around conflict, nervous around anger, because that's how you grew up in a childhood or a turmoil in family growing up, how your parents were, then you might get anxious, and that will, again, block you from getting to anger. So you can see how these emotions really are playing into so many things in our lives, in our behaviors, in how we operate. So every day we're doing things or not doing things because we are trying to avoid emotions that we don't want to feel in ourselves. And so what I'm telling you guys is you want to feel every emotion that arises in you. You want to feel every emotion, and you want to label it, affect labeling, like we talked about, and you want to feel it. And you don't need to do anything about these emotions. You don't need to react to them or stop them or let them affect your behavior. You just need to let the storm cloud of emotion pass through you. Just go through you, sit through it. It will pass, and then the impulse to do something will start to pass. Okay, so this is how you're going to break down these behavior patterns that are maladaptive. Like fear avoidance is a maladaptive pattern. It's not helping. It's making the situation worse. Just like we don't express our anger, or we don't let ourselves feel certain emotions, or we're people-pleasing, or trying to be perfect. These are all, again, run by your feelings. So we want to go to your feelings directly, feel them, sever that link between, again, the feeling and the behavior. Because once you break that link, you're free. Now you're going to need to do this multiple times because the pattern is there. The feelings can be strong because of your childhood and the way you were raised. And so we're trying to break these links in yourself. And it has to do with these emotions. So I hope this is helpful, guys. Reach out with comments. This is quite interesting stuff when you really get into it and how our emotions really shape our behaviors. And we're trying to basically break that link. We can behave differently. We just need to be able to handle the emotion and not be a victim to it or listen to it. All right, guys, take care. We'll talk to you next time.